welcome to our deep dive,
Yeah.
into these large language models,
LLMs.
the AI
Yeah.
systems that can understand and generate, human-like text.
Yeah, exactly. And we're talking about them getting a serious upgrade, right? Like instead of just one AI, imagine a whole team of AI agents working together,
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
each with their own specialty.
Yeah.
And that's what we're exploring today, this open source framework called AutoGen. And it's changing how we build these LLM applications.
Yeah. What's really fascinating about this is, it's this shift away from the idea of just one giant all-knowing AI.
Right.
And going to a network of these smaller, more specialized AIs that can actually have
They
conversations.
can talk to each other.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
collaborate.
Like a team.
Yeah, think about it like assembling a team of experts, right? You have your creative writer, your logician, your data analyst all working together to solve a problem.
So no more trying to get one AI to do it all.
Right.
That makes sense.
Much more efficient. How does it even work? I mean, how do you program a conversation between multiple AIs?
Well, that's the brilliance of AutoGen, right? It introduces this thing called conversational programming,
Oh,
and it lets developers create these interactions using natural language.
so it's not like code.
No, it's surprisingly intuitive, almost like you're writing a script for a play.
Oh, okay.
But the actors are these AI agents.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so you're not bogged down with this really complex code. You're kind of just telling the AIs what to talk about and how to work together.
Yeah, so you're essentially just setting the stage and they're doing their thing.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Okay, and each agent can be customized with specific abilities.
Oh, wow.
So some agents might be powered by LLMs like ChatGPT.
Yeah, okay.
Others might be hooked up to external tools like calculators or databases.
You got resources.
Yeah, and some can even be controlled by human input.
Oh, wow. So you can kind of mix and match.
Yeah, it's like this toolbox full of different AI building blocks, and you can mix and match them depending on the application.
So you're making a custom-built AI team.
Right.
That's really cool.
For each problem.
For each problem. Yeah, that's awesome.
That you want to solve.
Okay, well, let's get into some examples.
Yeah.
Because I'm really starting to see the possibilities here.
For sure.
What kind of applications are people building with this?
So one of the first things that caught my eye was math problem solving.
Yeah.
Researchers use AutoGen to build a system to tackle these really challenging high school math problems, and the results were really impressive.
Yeah, I read that it outperformed some commercial products like ChatGPT with plugins.
Yeah.
Is it just that multiple agents are better than one?
Well, it's a little more nuanced than that.
Okay.
Part of AutoGen's success in math problem solving comes from this ability to create this smart workflow between the agents.
Okay.
So, for example, they had one agent that was designed to break down these complex problems into smaller, more manageable steps.
Okay.
And this made it easier for the other agents that were specialized in different areas of math to kind of do their part. Right, so they divide and conquer and come up with a solution.
Yeah, so it's not just about having different skills. It's about having a system that knows how to use those skills efficiently.
Okay, so it's like a well-oiled machine.
Right.
But math problems are just the tip of the iceberg, right?
Absolutely. AutoGen is incredibly versatile.
Okay.
Another application that showcases its power is in retrieval augmented code generation.
Okay.
So imagine you need to write code that uses the latest features from a software library.
Okay.
Now, the problem is LLMs, they're trained on this massive data set.
Right.
But that data can get outdated.
Uh-huh.
What happens if the software library was updated after the LLM's training data?
Right, so it's like using an old map
Yeah.
where all the streets have changed.
That's-
That makes sense.
So how does AutoGen solve this? Well, think about it like this. AutoGen gives the AI access to external documents, like the updated documentation for that software library.
So instead of relying solely on its internal knowledge, the AI can now pull in this latest information and use it to generate accurate and up-to-date code.
So you're giving the AI a research assistant.
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. And how does that play out with multiple agents?
You're right on. They actually created a system where one agent acts as this retrieval agent, and its job is to search through these external documents and pull out relevant snippets of information.
Okay.
And then another agent, we can call it the code generation agent, uses that information along with its own LLM capabilities to write the code.
Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah,
So one finds the information, the other uses it to build something.
exactly.
Awesome. Okay. I can see how that can be used in so many different ways.
Yeah, for sure.
What other examples are there?
So another application that I thought was really cool involves something called ALF World.
Okay.
And it's this simulated environment that's designed to test how well AI agents can understand and complete these complex language-based tasks in a realistic setting.
So it's like a virtual world?
Yeah, think of it like a virtual dollhouse
Oh, yeah.
where the AI has to follow instructions like go to the kitchen, find the blue cup, and bring it to the living room.
Okay, so it's a challenge.
It is a challenge.
So how did they use AutoGen to do that?
So they actually took a really interesting approach using multiple agents.
Right.
They had one agent that was responsible for understanding those instructions that were given in natural language,
Okay.
almost like a translator.
Yeah.
And then they had another agent that was tasked with figuring out how to actually carry out those instructions.
Okay.
Navigating those rooms, interacting with the objects, and so on.
Okay, that makes sense.
But here's the twist.
Okay, I like twists. What is it?
They added a third agent called a grounding agent.
Okay.
Now, this agent was designed to be the voice of common sense.
Okay.
It had access to basic knowledge about how the world works, like you can't turn on a lamp if it's not plugged in.
Right.
And its job was to watch what the other agents were doing and step in if they started making illogical decisions or got stuck in a loop.
That's so smart.
It really is.
So it's like an AI supervisor.
Yeah.
That's like, hey, hold on a second. That doesn't make sense. Let's try this.
Exactly. And that's one of the key insights from this research.
Yeah.
It's not just about creating individual AI agents that are super intelligent. It's about understanding how to connect them in a way that allows them to learn from each other, overcome their individual limitations, and ultimately achieve something greater than they could on their own.
It's all about teamwork.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah. Okay. I love it.
Right.
I want to dive a little deeper into how these agents are actually talking to each other.
Sure.
You mentioned conversational programming, but I'm still a little fuzzy on it.
Yeah. So imagine you're writing a script for these agents.
Okay.
You're not telling them exactly what to say,
Right.
but you're giving them the structure for their conversation.
Okay.
You might say something like, Agent 1, ask Agent 2 for the latest data on X. Then you might define a rule, like if Agent 2 doesn't have that data, it should query this external database.
So you're setting up the flow of information.
Yes,
Yeah.
and giving them guidelines for how to respond in different situations.
So it's almost like a decision tree.
That's a great way to think about it.
Okay, cool.
And what's really cool is that this conversation can happen in natural language.
Oh, wow.
The agents can literally send text messages back and forth just like we do.
Okay.
But the key is that these messages are also carrying data and instructions that the agents can understand and act upon.
So it's like a secret language.
It's like they're having a conversation on two levels. One that we can understand and one that's happening behind the scenes where they're exchanging information and making decisions.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Wow.
And that's what makes conversational programming so powerful.
Yeah.
It allows us to design these complex interactions in a way that's both intuitive for us and flexible enough for the AIs to adapt to different situations.
So AutoGen doesn't stop there, right?
No, it doesn't.
You said it was flexible. So is there another way that they're using this?
Yeah, so they've actually explored using multiple agents to tackle another challenge
Okay.
that's really important when it comes to AI development.
Okay, what is it?
And that's AI safety.
Right.
A lot of people are worried that if we create these AI systems that are too powerful
Right.
and give them too much autonomy, it could lead to unintended consequences.
Makes sense.
So how do we build AI that is both capable and safe?
Okay, I'm listening.
Well, the developers of AutoGen had an interesting idea.
Okay, what did they do?
They created an application called OptiGuide,
Okay.
which is designed to help users write and execute code,
Okay.
but with a built-in safety net.
Okay.
And they used multiple agents to achieve this.
So how does that work? Is it like an AI spell checker?
It's a lot more sophisticated than that.
Yeah.
In OptiGuide, you actually have 3 different agents working together.
Okay.
The first agent helps you write the code,
Okay.
just like a regular AI coding assistant. But then things get really interesting.
Okay.
The second agent acts as a security guard,
Okay.
and its job is to scrutinize the code for any potential security vulnerabilities or harmful instructions.
So it's looking for things that could be dangerous.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And finally, you have the third agent, which is the executor.
Okay.
But here's the key. The executor will only run the code if the security guard gives it the all clear.
Oh, wow.
If the security guard flags any potential issues, the code gets sent back for revisions before it can be executed.
That's amazing.
It is pretty cool.
Okay.
It's like having a team of AI experts working together to ensure that the code you're writing is not only functional,
Yeah.
but also safe.
That's incredible. And it would be a game changer in fields like finance or healthcare, where security is so important.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm seeing how this multi-agent approach can make AI systems more intelligent,
Yeah,
but also safer.
that's right.
That's really cool.
It's a really powerful concept.
Okay, so we've seen it used for math, for coding, for navigating those virtual environments,
Right.
for ensuring code safety.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like the possibilities are endless.
You're catching on quickly.
Yeah.
What's exciting is that AutoGen's developers have also explored how this framework can be used for things like dynamic group chat,
Okay.
where multiple AI agents can have a more free-flowing conversation
Okay.
and collaborate on tasks that might be too complex for a single agent to handle.
So is it like a group text
Yeah, kind of.
with a bunch of AIs?
Yeah.
What kind of things can they collaborate on?
Well, they've even built a conversational chess game
What?
where humans and AIs can play together.
That's so cool.
It is.
How does that even work?
Well, instead of just making silent moves, they can actually talk to each other,
Oh, wow.
discuss strategies, and maybe even a little trash talk.
So it makes it more fun.
A lot more fun.
Yeah, and more engaging.
Exactly.
I love that it really breaks the mold of the traditional silent AI.
It does. It brings in this element of personality.
Yeah. Which is really cool. And that's one of the things I love about this field.
Yeah.
It's not just about building machines that can think.
Yeah.
It's about exploring how we can make those machines more human-like, more relatable,
Yeah.
and ultimately more useful for us in all aspects of our lives.
I totally agree. It's been a really amazing journey so far, and I'm eager to hear more. But before we dive into the future of multi-agent LLM applications,
Sure.
let's recap what we've learned.
Sounds good.
So let's take a quick break,
Okay.
and we'll come back, ready to explore what the future holds for this game-changing technology.
Sounds great.
Welcome back to our deep dive into multi-agent LLM applications. I'm ready to hear more about the future of AI.
Yeah, that's a pretty exciting time.
We've seen some really amazing applications so far, like solving those tough math problems, and even writing code that has a built-in security guard.
It's pretty wild what they're doing.
Yeah, but now I want to step back and look at the bigger picture.
What does this move towards multi-agent systems mean for the future of AI development? How could this change things for all of us?
Well, it's a question that's got the entire AI community really excited right now.
Yeah.
What we're seeing is a fundamental shift in how we approach building AI.
Okay.
Instead of trying to create one massive system that knows everything,
Right.
we're moving toward a more elegant and efficient approach, you know?
Okay.
It's like, imagine instead of having one Swiss Army knife
Yeah.
that's supposed to do everything,
Right.
we're building a toolbox filled with specialized tools.
So each tool is really good at one thing.
Exactly, each perfectly designed for a specific task.
So instead of overwhelming one AI with everything,
Right.
you're building a team.
Yes, exactly. A team of specialized AI agents that can work together.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, and it could lead to some really big advancements.
Yeah, like what kind of advancement?
But this modular approach has some really exciting advantages. First, it allows us to tap into the strengths of different AI models and techniques, right?
Yeah.
We can have one agent that's great at creative writing,
Okay.
another that excels at logical reasoning, and another that's a master at data analysis.
So you're bringing together the best of the best.
Yeah, by combining these specialized agents, we can create systems that are far more powerful and versatile than any single AI could ever be on its own.
Okay, it's like assembling this ultimate dream team
Right.
where each agent brings its own unique expertise to the table.
Exactly.
And together they can tackle problems that would be impossible for a solo AI.
That's the idea.
So what else? What other advantages are there?
Well, another key advantage is scalability.
Okay.
As these tasks get more complex, it gets really difficult to train and manage one giant AI model.
Yeah, it's like trying to juggle a million things at once.
Yeah, it is.
But with a multi-agent system, you're breaking it down into smaller, more manageable chunks.
Exactly.
You can have different agents working on each part.
Right, and that makes the whole process much more efficient.
So it's like dividing a giant puzzle
Yeah,
and having different people work on different sections.
exactly. So
Yeah.
it becomes much faster and less overwhelming.
This sounds really promising for tackling those big challenges that are facing humanity.
It really does. The scalability is crucial as we move towards tackling these ambitious AI challenges, like building systems that can truly understand and interact with the world in a way that's more human-like.
That would be incredible.
It would.
What would that look like?
Well, imagine AI agents seamlessly navigating complex environments,
Okay.
collaborating with humans on really intricate projects, or even helping us make better decisions in our everyday lives.
Okay. Yeah, so like a personal assistant?
Yeah, kind of, but on a much grander scale.
Okay.
It's really exciting stuff.
It's definitely exciting, but let's be realistic for a moment.
Okay.
This has to come with some challenges, right?
You're right, it does.
It can't all be sunshine and roses.
No. One of the biggest hurdles is coordination. When you have multiple agents working together, you need to make sure that they can communicate effectively,
Yeah, that makes sense.
share information without creating conflicts, and avoid duplicating each other's efforts.
So it's like managing a team.
Yeah, it really is like managing a team of highly skilled but independent individuals.
Yeah.
You need that clear communication
Yeah.
and well-defined roles to prevent chaos.
So that everyone is on the same page.
Exactly, and working towards the same goal.
So how do you actually get these AI agents to play nicely together? How do you make sure that they're working together and not against each other?
Well, that's where this concept of conversational programming and AutoGen comes in.
Right. Okay.
It provides a framework for designing those multi-agent interactions in a more intuitive and manageable way.
So we're going back to that.
We are.
I like it.
Remember we talked about writing a script for the AI agents?
Right. Like giving them instructions.
Yeah.
But not every single detail.
Exactly.
So they have some freedom to figure things out.
That's right. And this is where the power of LLMs really shines.
Okay.
With their ability to understand and generate human-like text, they can act as facilitators of communication between these different agents.
Okay.
So it's like having an AI translator
Oh, that's cool.
that can bridge the gap between those agents with different specialized skills and make sure everyone is on the same page.
Okay. So it's not just about how smart each agent is.
Yeah,
It's about how well they can communicate and work together.
exactly.
Okay. I like it.
It's really the key to making this whole thing work.
But I'm sure there are other challenges too, right?
Yeah, of course, coordination is just one piece of the puzzle.
Okay.
We also need to think about the robustness of these systems.
What does that mean?
Well, what happens when they encounter unexpected situations?
Okay.
Can they adapt?
Yeah.
Can they continue to function effectively?
Right. Because the real world is messy
It is. It's full of surprises.
and things don't always go according to plan.
Exactly. And we need AI systems that can handle those curveballs without just falling apart.
So how do you build that resilience?
Well, that's an area of active research right now.
Okay.
And there are a lot of promising approaches.
Like what?
One idea is to introduce redundancy into the system.
Okay.
So just like having backup generators in case of a power outage,
Right.
you could have multiple agents with overlapping capabilities.
Okay.
So if one agent fails
Right.
or encounters a problem that it can't solve, another agent can step in and take over.
So it's like a safety net
Yeah, it is.
to prevent the whole system from crashing.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's all about making sure that the system can keep running,
Even when things go wrong.
even when things go wrong. Exactly.
Okay. I like it. And then, of course, there are the ethical considerations, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're talking about a whole network of AI agents.
We are. And as these multi-agent systems become more sophisticated and more integrated into our lives, we really need to think deeply about the ethical implications. You know, for example, how do we ensure that these systems are aligned with human values?
Right.
How do we make sure they don't make decisions that could harm individuals or society as a whole?
So it's not just about building AI that's intelligent.
Right.
It's about building AI that's responsible
Exactly.
and ethical.
That's a huge part of it.
So how do you do that?
Well, that's a question that researchers and ethicists are grappling with right now.
Yeah.
One promising approach is to incorporate transparency and explainability into these systems.
So basically making sure that we can understand how they're making decisions.
Yeah, if we can understand how these AI agents are making decisions and what factors they're considering, it becomes much easier to identify potential biases or unintended consequences
Oh.
and then make adjustments accordingly.
So it's like having a conversation with the AI,
It is.
not just giving it commands.
Exactly. We want to understand its reasoning process so we can guide its development in a way that aligns with our values and goals.
But transparency is just part of the solution, right?
It is.
We also need to think about accountability.
You're absolutely right. Accountability is crucial.
So who's responsible when an AI system makes a mistake?
That's a really tricky question. As these systems become more autonomous, it becomes harder to pinpoint responsibility when something goes wrong.
Yeah, I can see that.
Was it a flaw in the design of the system? Was it a problem with the data it was trained on? Or was it some unforeseen interaction between the different agents?
It's like a whole new world of responsibility.
It's uncharted territory.
So what can we do?
Well, one idea is to develop clear guidelines for the design and deployment of these systems.
Okay.
This could include requirements for documentation testing and ongoing monitoring
Okay.
to make sure that they are functioning as intended and not exhibiting any harmful behaviors.
So it's like a set of rules
It is like a new set of rules and regulations.
for this new world of
For
AI.
this new world of AI, exactly.
I have to ask, with all these challenges and ethical considerations, is it really worth it?
That's a question that everyone needs to answer for themselves.
Yeah.
But I firmly believe that the potential benefits of multi-agent systems outweigh the risks.
Okay.
Think about the incredible advances we could make in fields like medicine, climate science education.
Okay, yeah.
Imagine AI agents working alongside human experts to develop life-saving treatments, discover new sources of clean energy, or personalize education for every child on the planet.
It sounds like it could really change the world for the better.
It's a reminder that AI is a tool.
Yeah.
And like any tool, it can be used for good or for ill.
Right.
It's our responsibility to guide its development and ensure that it's used to create a better future for all of humanity.
And to make sure it doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
Exactly.
Okay, well said. I completely agree with you. It's clear that we're on the cusp of a new era in AI.
We are.
And it's filled with incredible promise and some serious challenges.
Yeah, for sure.
But I want to circle back to something you said earlier
Sure.
about AI agents working alongside human experts.
Yeah.
Can you give me some specific examples of what that collaboration might look like in practice?
Sure. Let's imagine a team of scientists working on a cure for a deadly disease.
Okay.
They could use AI agents to analyze vast amounts of data from medical research papers, clinical trials, genetic databases. And these AI agents could identify patterns and connections that humans might miss potentially, leading to breakthroughs in treatment and prevention.
So the AI is like a research assistant.
Exactly, helping the scientists make sense of all that complex data.
That's pretty amazing.
It is.
It goes beyond just data analysis, right?
It does imagine AI agents helping doctors make more accurate diagnoses.
Oh, wow.
By analyzing patient symptoms, medical history, even real-time data from wearable sensors.
Wow, so it's like having an AI doctor.
Kind of, but working in partnership with human doctors
Okay,
to provide the best possible care.
I like it.
Or think of AI agents working with engineers to design more efficient and sustainable transportation systems, reducing traffic congestion and greenhouse gas emissions.
So it could help us solve all kinds of problems.
It really could.
Wow, these are some really exciting possibilities.
They are.
It sounds like AI agents could become these invaluable partners helping us solve problems that have been around for centuries.
I think that's a very real possibility.
But I imagine there are also new questions that come up with this kind of human-AI collaboration.
Of course there are.
Like, how do we design these systems?
Yeah, you're right. We need to think carefully about how to design AI agents that can effectively communicate and collaborate with humans.
Right.
It's not just about technical skills.
It's about social skills.
It's about social intelligence.
Yeah.
These AI agents need to understand human emotions, social cues, cultural norms.
So they can build relationships with their teammates.
Exactly. It's like the ultimate team building exercise.
I love it.
Right. And it raises some fascinating research questions.
Yeah, like what?
How do we train AI agents to understand and respond appropriately to human emotions? How do we design interfaces that make it easy for humans to communicate with and understand the reasoning of these AI agents?
That's fascinating.
It is. It's a really exciting area of research.
It seems like we're just getting started with multi-agent AI systems.
We are. We're just scratching the surface of what's possible.
Okay, before we get too carried away with the future, let's take a quick pause to think about what we've learned.
Sounds good.
Let's take a short break.
Okay.
And we'll come back with some final thoughts on what all of this means for you and the future of AI.
Sounds great.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We've covered a lot of ground talking about these multi-agent LLM applications.
We have.
And it seems like they have the potential to change so much from, how we do scientific research to our everyday lives.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing stuff.
So before we wrap things up, I want to make sure we highlight the key takeaways.
Yeah, for sure.
So what are the big things people should be thinking about?
Well, one of the most important takeaways is that AI is changing really fast. And we're moving away from this idea of one giant AI system and embracing a more collaborative approach.
Right, like instead of a solo act, it's more like an ensemble.
Exactly. It's like a shift from a solo virtuoso to a symphony orchestra with each instrument playing its part
I love that.
to create something much bigger.
It's really cool to think about this symphony of AI agents working together.
It is.
But it also makes you think about the ethical side of things.
Yeah.
Right? Like, how do we make sure these AI systems are doing the right thing?
Yeah, you're right. As we build these increasingly sophisticated multi-agent systems, we need to make sure that they're aligned with human values.
So they're not just smart,
Right.
they're also ethical.
Exactly.
So how do we do that?
Well, it really requires everyone to work together.
Okay.
Researchers, developers, policymakers, and even the public. We need to have open conversations about both the good and the bad.
The potential benefits and the risks.
Exactly. And then work together to make sure that AI is being developed responsibly.
Okay, so this isn't just a conversation for the tech world.
No, it's a conversation for everyone.
It's about our future.
It is.
Okay, well, I have one final question for you and for everyone listening.
Okay.
Now that we're seeing this new era of AI collaboration, what new applications do you think we'll see? What are you most excited about?
Well, I'm personally really excited to see how multi-agent systems could change the world of science.
No.
Imagine AI agents working with scientists to make those big discoveries.
Like finding cures for diseases?
Yeah, exactly. Or even unlocking the secrets of the universe.
That would be amazing.
It would.
I'm really excited about the potential for education.
Oh, yeah.
Like, imagine if every student had their own AI tutor
That would be incredibly.
that could adapt to their learning style.
That's the dream right there, making learning more engaging and effective for everyone.
It is.
And it's not just education and science, right? Think about healthcare, transportation, entertainment. All these areas of our lives could be transformed.
It's pretty incredible to think about.
It really is.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive into the world of multi-agent LLM applications.
It has.
Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us.
It's been my pleasure.
And to everyone listening, thank you for joining us. Remember, this is just the beginning. The future of AI is being written right now, and we all have a role to play in shaping it.
Absolutely.
So keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep learning. The future is out there.
Thank you for listening to this episode of This Is Not Human, an AI podcast about AI, generated by me. My name is Chris. I'm the human behind the podcast you just listened to. I have various projects that you can participate in if you're interested. Everything from just getting up to speed on what AI is to a fully automated gardening system that uses AI and robots to bring food from your lawn directly into your fridge and right onto your table. The project is called Johnny Autoseed, and I'm looking for serious people to get involved to make it a reality. If that sounds interesting to you, and anything that I do seems like it could be of value to you, please follow me, please subscribe, please hit my line. I'm always looking for new opportunities. I'm always looking to find out what people are doing in this world. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next episode.